what's up guys, Weevil YouTube here, back with another video. So I was at my Dublin regional, I placed 13th, so technically it's a top 16 finish, even though only 47 players I think were actually at the event. But I was playing Mermails, Tidal Mermails to be exact. I was also running 3 Genix Undines in the main deck. My matchups were quite interesting. 2 Prophecies, both of which I beat. 2 Elemental Dragons, one of which I lost to and one of which I beat. And there was a Fairy deck, some weird rogue deck, that I managed to 2-0 in the space of like 4 minutes. So actually that was pretty comfortable. My final match was against Firefist, which sadly I lost, which prevented me from topping, so I was like, salty. Anyways, I did the best I possibly could have done in that match. So I'm not too beat up about it. This is the deck I was using on that particular day. Actually, well, it's today really, because I just got back. 1 lead, 1 Moon Glacia. Moon Glacia because you can make them a lot more easily when you summon Genix Undine. Dragoons can just pull them straight from the deck if you have 5 waters. I didn't actually use them all day, so there you go. 3 Abyss Megalos. Megalo is an absolute staple, no need to even talk about him. Gets your sphere. Really, really amazing. A card which I actually prefer to him, 3 Tias. Tias because he opens up so many plays. If you get Tias and Dragoons, it pretty much sets you up for the entire game. Because it just searches out exactly what you need, and you probably have a sphere in your hand as well. So it's like so awesome. Also, he's a 2400 wall, which actually helped me a lot in the, during the day. 1 stream and 2 Tidal. I had to make space for Genix Undines and controllers, so I had to kind of reduce the consistency of some of the other engines in the deck. And Tidal and Stream was one of those. I used to have two streams and 3 Tidals. Nevertheless, Tidal, top deck, like a boss. It was so amazing all day long. 3 Genix Undines and 2 Genix controllers. The engine is self-explanatory. I use it as a floater. Used it to search out Megalo, a bunch of other stuff. Really, really useful card. One of my absolute favourite water cards. 2 Deep Sea Divas, again, because I need to make space. 3 Lins. 3 Spikes. And 2 Goons. Goons, absolutely amazing. Because the amount of times an Elemental Dragon player went card searching against me, and I would discard, like, oh no, my Megalo's gone, big deal. And then I draw into like 2 of my side cards, like a Max C and Imperial Iron Wall or something. And then I draw a Goon and Tias and something else. I'd have level 7 Live and Grave and I'd just be like, oh, it's my birthday. Which it isn't. But it was amazing. 3 Atlantean Marksmans and 2 Heavy Infantry. And triple Dragoons. Atlantean engine, it's pretty standard. Why didn't I run 3 Infantry? The reason I ran Undines to begin with was because of the Evilswarm matchup. And you would think I would run 3 Infantries if I wanted to pop the Ophion continuously. But I find that I prefer to draw into Marksman almost every time. I know that set cards aren't as big of an issue anymore, but I just like the fact that Marksman can attack directly, can special Dragoons for the deck and so forth. As with the spells, we have Pot of Barbarous, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Reborn, and Salvage. And the trap's pretty simple. 3 Spheres, and 2 Breakthrough Skills. Breakthrough Skill did its work all day, I swear to God. It was so amazing. It was negating all sorts of stuff. It's negating bears, negating Dragon Sack effects, a bunch of stuff. It was heavenly. A really, really good card. Fiendish Chain, I'm kind of thinking is better against Ovion, but since it reapplies at the end of the turn. But Breakthrough Skill is like, either you use 2 of your Pandemics, the one you had in your hand before you searched and the one you set after you searched, or Ovion gets negated and I literally just spam a special rank 7, maybe take your Ophion or whatever. So really, really amazing. It did its work all day long, as I said. As for the side deck, I'll go to the side deck for the extra. 2 MSTs. This was just against general D-Fisher, Macro, Cosmos, back row heavy decks. Any deck that gave me trouble. I had Heavy Storm in the main at least, so that was okay. 2 Skill Drains. This was solely against the Firefist matchup, because Firefists, from playing them in Gamers World, which is the local store that I actually go to play games, they were a problem. And it turns out it was the guy who I actually regularly played in that place who beat me in round 6. Didn't draw into my Skill Drains. But Skill Drain, it doesn't really affect my deck all that much, and it absolutely screws over a lot of other decks. So, pretty good. 2 Royal Decrees. This was, again, against back row heavy decks. I sided these in against Firefist as well. I had like 9 sides against that deck, actually. And, yeah, it was really, really amazing. I didn't have it drawn against that deck, but I drew it against other decks. So it was cool. 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance. I'd say against Prophecies, this was the absolute MVP of the day. Because every time I lost game 1, or even if I won game 1, I would always open anti-spell fragrance. Game 1, in the first prophecy matchup I had, I believe I lost. I think he just opened amazing. Game 2, I set anti-spell fragrance and I beat him there. Then game 3, he just normal summons Kaiku, sets 2 and ends his turn. And I think I had Megalo with double Dragoons in hand or something like that. Something crazy. I don't remember precisely what it was. Nevertheless, it was they were really good games. And the second prophecy match, I don't think I got this off at all. But it was a weird build, and I don't really remember the game. 2 Imperial Iron Walls, absolute MVP of the day. I swear to God, it was so useful. It either prevented my own cards from being removed from play when they had Defisher or Macrocosmos, or it prevented Elemental Dragons from banishing. It prevented Priestess's Effect, Spellbook of Fate, a bunch of other cards. So really useful. I highly recommend this in any side deck nowadays, because the meta is about to get like screwed up. In fact, it already is. It's completely broken, like wide open pretty much. You have tier 0 decks for days, you know, specifically Dragons and Prophecy. So 2 Maxis for the mirror match, 6 Samurais, Elemental Dragons, a bunch of other decks. Maxi is, like, again, another staple in the side deck or in the main deck, depending on what you're into. 2 Gozen match, again, against Elemental Dragons, as well as against Elemental Heroes, 6 Samurais. There was actually a 6 Samurai deck that topped, so I was lucky I had the Gozen matches, but I didn't end up playing against the guy, so that was okay. And finally, 1 Electric Virus, because I wanted to fit in 2, but just didn't have space, because I wanted to put Undines in the main deck, and yeah, I needed more support for Undine and less support for kind of countering dragons. But Electric Virus actually did serve me well when the dragon players go card destruction. I was actually able to draw into my my virus, which was kind of cool. I was able to make a free rank 7. Rank 7s are awesome. Nevertheless, that's the deck. Let me know what you think. Oh wait, shit, extra. My apologies. Sorry, I'm just looking at the time of the video. Dragossack. 2 Gaius and 1 Big Eye. It's the rank 7s. They were the big boys of the day. Didn't make Big Eye once, shockingly. That's actually never happened to me in a match before. Made Dragossack a lot. Made Gaius more than a lot. Gaius won me the match against the Elemental Dragon player, the one that I won. The one that I lost was just double line Darts Dragon. Like, I killed the first one and then he just summons another one. It was hell. Abyss Dweller, Bahamut Shark. Pretty straightforward. Abyss Dweller, actually, I was able to use it against an Elemental Dragon player once to negate one of his effects to special summon. But it was only staving off the inevitable because he was able to go into a Big Eye afterwards and take it, so I was like, shit. 1 Abyss Strike, 1 Wind of Zenmains. 1 Diaghost of Phoenix, because I didn't have a second Mecha Fan Beast Dragossack. I actually wanted to get one, but my friend was meant to bring one with him and he forgot it, so that's cool. And 1 Gachi Gachi. This card is going. In fact, these 2 slots are going, and I'm putting in 2 other cards. Because there's so many times matches, I didn't go into Gachi once today. I wouldn't want to, because you don't want to play defensive against any of these tier 1 decks anymore, because, you know, Gachi is a gift for Elemental Dragons. They'll just go into Big Eye and take it. And then it's a free monster that I have to, like, kill 3 times, which boosts up all their monsters. So why the hell would I want to do that? So if I have a Diva in hand, I'll never ever make Gachi. Going Cataster is a little bit better, because at least you have outs to Cataster yourself if you have an infantry in hand or whatever. So if they take it, you can just get rid of it. Armory Arm, Cataster, Dual Iron, Gungnir, which should be a Black Rose, because I swear to God, I was against the Fire Fist player in game 3. I could have made Black Rose Dragon, and if I made Black Rose, or was it game 2? I don't remember. Game 2 possibly. If I made Black Rose Dragon, the game would be completely different, because he had like 4 back row. If he didn't have Starlight Road, I don't know whether he did or not, but if he didn't, I made Gungnir instead and he bottomlessed it or something. Or Compulse. So if I made Black Rose, the Compulse wouldn't have mattered. I would have blown up his board, and I would have been in a much better position. I think he had 2 cards in hand at the time. And finally, Crimson Blader. I didn't make this guy all day, simply because level 1 tuners don't really come along with water decks, and because I ran so many level 7s, it was very difficult to make a level 8. I would have had to have gone Cataster plus Controller, which I could have done at one point, but I decided not to. Or I could have gone, you know, Diva into Infantry and normal summon of Dragoons, and I never waste my Dragoons. Dragoons are precious. The Dragoons are like gold dust. You absolutely need to keep them in your hand until you need them. Nevertheless, Okay, so that's the deck for real. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think. I'll be changing it around soon. I'll either keep with the Mermails, try and make a more efficient and effective build a bit, or I'll switch to Elemental Dragons and just derp all over everybody. Because if I learned one thing today, it's that certain cards against Elemental Dragons are just absolutely amazing. Two of which are Imperial Iron Wall, obviously. Imperial Iron Wall, by far the best side against the deck. And then you have Gozen and Maxis and Electric Virus. You basically just need to frustrate their strategy. If you get Gozen and Imperial Iron Wall in the field, they should pretty much scoop. Because if they don't main deck MSTs, even if they side them in, they have to use 2 of their MSTs. They have to have 2 MSTs in hand to get rid of both of these cards, both of which completely shut the deck down. Because if they can't special 2 dragons, then they can't XYZ summon. And if they can only special 1 dragon, then it's just going to get bounced back to their hand during the next end phase. During my next end phase. So, like, it's just so good. And they go card destruction, which I've seen a lot today, actually. I'm like, fine, because I normally draw into my sides anyway. So, overall, it was a really good day against Elemental Dragons. I took it to game 3 in the first match, and because of Lion Darkness Dragon, I just got trolled. I just had to use up all my effects. Considering taking out a card to put in Aerorca in the side deck, because Aerorca continuously tries to banish itself. Not sure whether it occurs on the same chain as his effect to destroy. But it says then banishes the card till your next standby phase, blah 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 blah. So either the lad negates the entire effect, or he doesn't. But anyways, if he continuously tries to banish, then that would just bring his attack points down, which would be awesome. But other than that, I didn't really learn a whole lot else. I didn't misplay at all today, actually. I was quite happy with the way I performed. I literally did everything I could have done, as I said. I was placed 13th. Kind of got this mad as a reward in a sense, although I just bought it today from one of my friends for €20. So it was the only thing I came home with that was in any way new, as well as a renewed sense of vigor about my Mermail deck and how awesome and derpy it can be. But anyway guys, just checking the time. Shit, 12 minutes. Apologies. That's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Catch you guys later.